share the light, share the light. When the youth them, no, we gotta try.
So I am calling on every youth, I am calling on every citizen. Let us unite and save Trinidad and Tobago. For far too long we have been exploited. For far too long we have been neglected. The time has come where we must stand united in order to save our country. Yes, my brothers and my sisters.
Yeah, Victor vibes. If you want to see a better life, yeah, share the light. When the youth them, no, we gotta try. Victor vibes. If you want to see a better life, yeah, share the light. When the youth them, no, we gotta try.
And let us fight to defend our democracy in this country. Let us stand together.
Yeah. We cry from the ghetto, and the way on them like they don't care about somebody now. Victor vibes. If you want to see a better life, yeah, share the light. When the youth them, no, we gotta try. Victor vibes. If you want to see a better life, yeah, share the light. When the youth them, no, we gotta.
Collecting money in rent. You understand? And they come with the people. We know about this.
Soca Station 967. We gonna do
Don't pray to say something. Don't pray.
Milk it up.
This man collecting millions in rent a year. Don't pray.
Heavy coconut milk.
Heavy coconut milk. Wait, you know that?
Wait for blasting again, mate.
Let me set.
What David said, walk down the streets. Walk down the streets, boy. Come and tell something.
No, you can't come down here. So it's stone or you stop right here by Moutaba. And you can't come down here, you know that. The man asks, no, you have to move the boulders here, no, you can't do that. You understand? So throw in the sea. And you be sure because, brother? Long time you have to be cooperation. Why you out of the bumper? Out. Fairly people, man.
Come on.
What we have is vibes, tune and energy. Tune Cannon.
Is it? Just now, we're going to get a thing to call in just now. I said I'm top down library man. I said there's plenty library man here. Just now, we're going to get a chance to be a part of this experience. I said we're fine.
Is it real and you know it, clap your hands. If it's real and you know it, clap your hands.
You don't clap your hand.
You know it and you really want to show it. If it's real and you know it, clap your hands. Just make it back, bounce it back, twerk it back. Just make it back.
You can't get another better deal than this. You can't get that.
Hey! Right!
Come Victor, come on.
Hey, Coach G, we waiting on you, boy, Coach G, boy. Coach G, we waiting on you. Derek, Javid, we waiting on all you. We waiting.
Just now, you commenting on the live, but you can't get a chance to call him just now. But you can't get a chance to call him.
Surely we waiting on you.
Just now, you get a chance to call him just now. And the boy can't call him on you. Send a message just now as we go call him just now. Call him just now. But you can be a part of this experience too. Anything there, man. Let's see how this thing pumping here, man. But this feel louder. Small man waiting there for his bowl. Imagine that fellas come out of the water for a bowl.
I like to see a fella with more chicken than rice.
Won't be that right. The men waiting for the bowl to come out of the water. Won't ever see that. The cylinder all up by the sea, Victor. All up by the sea, man, cylinder.
We call this the mobile cooking. We'll be going from village to village. This is the mobile cooking.
Yeah.
You see, this is not just about food. This is about bringing back the love in the communities.
Yes.
This is about co-splitting the community. One for all for
And
one.
all for one.
That's what this is about.
All for one.
Bring back the love. Everybody must participate. That's what we want today.
Them people down here, they promise them a deep water harbour. And the field, but Cassie can't come down here. And we begging him.
This ain't no time, ladies and gentlemen, to play. This is no time to play around. This is a time where this country is in serious crisis.
You know why you're afraid of people like Tony now?
Season 22, the Frederick Contract Subforge.
It's always just big pot now, but
The action continues at the Caravan Village.
what's this pot now, but them fellas and them now come out of the sea and wait, you know, what's the way?
When the youth them know we gotta try.
So why we allow this administration to erode our democracy? This is a democratic society.
Blessing, good Sunday afternoon to each and every one. First of all, I want to welcome you regionally, locally, internationally. Welcome to Facts Not Fiction. Of course, today being Sunday, it is a day just as good as any other day. First of all, I want to continue to remind you to subscribe to get your copy of the Douglas Report. This is a report that would come straight to your phone. All you need to do is to text the number that Archie will have on the screen, and of course, you could start to receive your copy of Douglas Report, where you will get the facts in relation to politics, sports, culture, crime, and also the state of the economy. We had, of course, on the Douglas Report,
This week, big headline, don't blame Kamala, blame karma. Of course. So, of course, ladies and gentlemen, tune in. First of all, I want to say to you that yesterday afternoon, Jeffrey and myself and others, we went to the Pointe-à-Pierre area where we encounter a very sad and tragic situation where some guys who were doing a job with Paria fuel, while the information is yet a bit sketchy as to what caused the incident, there were about 4 guys that was inside a 36-inch pipeline. And that is a story that is developing. And of course, on this program, we bring to you facts. And therefore, I will wait, and let's hope for the best in that situation. But certainly, we will talk to you some more on that, because there is some information that we gather, and we want to verify that information before we disseminate it upon the public or within the public domain, okay? That's one. And of course, yesterday morning we had the opportunity of going all the way to Cunupia, the Cunupia area, where we went into a trace by the name of David what? David Toby Trace. That was a video that was circulating, and I want to thank the Honorable Senator Anil Roberts, of course, for bringing some of the information to you as to what is happening there on the Douglas Politics last night. And therefore, we urge you, those of you who would be willing to contribute in any form and fashion in terms of material, you could call me 316-4468, and I will be happy to make sure that whatever you donate to that cause, that it reach, and that the job that we propose to do would be completed, where we can house these 3 children and of course their father. It's a very sad experience that we have experienced, but I know that the Honorable Senator last night showed you what is happening there, and I just want to reiterate that we seek your assistance in helping these 3 children. I believe it's a girl and 2 boys, and they range from the age of 4 to the age of 2, to 6 going on 7. All right? So, whatever, these children need your assistance and they need your help. So, be that as it may, let's get into today's proceeding. Ladies and gentlemen, as we kick off today's proceedings, a matter of fact, having some discussions with a few folks on Saturday. They are interested in supporting the United National Congress, where we all believe that a snap election would be called. However, within those discussions, some were saying to me that some of the supporters of this party continue to advocate that in order for the UNC to be victorious, we have to move the leader, the Honorable Kamla Persad Bissessar, from the hem. Well, all you know by now, when that kind of topic come before me, I just dish up that quick and put it in a pan and throw it outside as dog food. Yeah. Food for Pedro. And if you don't know what that means, it means dog. Ask Anneli, go help her lay that Spanish. Ladies and gentlemen, you see today is a day that are going to educate you, the population, again. I said to you on many occasions that I am a member of the United National Congress, not because I have a partner who is a UNC. Not because I am in love with some UNC woman. Not because, ladies and gentlemen, that I like yellow. But I am there because of the policies that Kamla Persad Bissessar brought to the table during 2010 and 2015 when she led the People's Partnership government. Policies, ladies and gentlemen, that move, that improve the lives and livelihoods of persons of this country. This Kamla Persad Bissessar, who the propaganda machine of the PNM and the thought and feelings machine of the UNC put together and continue to disseminate throughout the length and breadth of this country, I, Victor Roberts, and others will prove to you that Kamala Persaud-Bissassa was, is, and will continue to be one of the better individuals to hold the office of Prime Minister in this country. Let me deal with the PNM portion first. When Keith Christopher Rowley as leader of the People's National Movement, as a result of overthrowing the Patrick Manning regime, a man who rejoiced at the ailment of a leader who is 10 times better, more qualified, more compassionate than him, came to you and said to you, the population, ladies and gentlemen, given the opportunity to become the Prime Minister of this country, I will ensure that I level the playing field and that I am going to be Prime Minister for the whole of Trinidad and Tobago. I am going to share the political pie with equity. I will represent each creed, color, and race, and so on, and so on, and so on. A man who said to you, the population, that he were fed up of allegations of corruption. A man, ladies and gentlemen, who stood up at a memorial of Eric Williams, read into your hearing one long fancy speech, a speech that convinced you that this was the man to move this country in the direction of equity, a speech that convinced you to vote him into office because you, the population, believe what he stood up and said on numerous occasions in terms of bringing a proper representation to you, the people, building up the constituencies that had supported and continue to support the PNM for over 47 years, that he had intended to move your life forward, to enhance your ability to become entrepreneurs, to enhance your ability to obtain degrees and to be able to move in a direction that you would be able to set a different precedent so that the youths that comes after you will follow the line and that we all will live in glory. This Keith Rowley, ladies and gentlemen, you can examine all that was said to you to help you to move your life forward. And today, my question to you, is your life now in a better place under the 2015 Keith Rowley government? Or was your life better off under the 2010 to that 2015 when Keith took over? Which one? Which one enhances your life? Which one brought you to the place where you could boast of education? Which one have provided and developed and moved your standard of living to a place where you were comfortable? Which government you decide? I know that some people, they believe and uphold lies. Some people believe propaganda. But I know that there are some of you who would examine what I am saying tonight. And when you examine what I am saying tonight, ladies and gentlemen, you will come to one conclusion, that your life was much more better off in 2010 and 2015 when you were under Kamla Prasad Bisesa than now where you are under Keith Christopher Rowley for the past 6 years and counting. But I want to say to you tonight that Patrick Manning said, his mother said to him, "Show me a liar, and I will show you a thief." Patrick Manning, ladies and gentlemen, he said to you that when he got vexed, he is out of control and he behaves like a raging bull. Ladies and gentlemen, the good scriptures will tell you somewhere in Genesis that when the Creator created the heaven and the earth, and when he had brought the sun as the greater light by day, and the moon by the lesser light by night, and when he have created the garden and put forth all the beautiful trees of the garden, the scripture will tell you somewhere in Genesis 5 that God had said that every tree will bring forth fruits after its kind. And so as the Creator spoke into being is so it existed back then and so it exists now. But what was that great message between that beautiful statement that was made, that every tree will bring forth that fruit after its kind? Was that beautiful statement that the Creator had placed on the trees? My question to you, was that only for the trees and the animals, or was it also for every human being? Tonight, I will educate you that did not only apply to the tree of the garden, but it applied to every being back then in the Garden of Eden. Where am I going, Victor Roberts? I am going a place that will help you to understand. When you have in place a leader who comes to power by lies, I am saying that that tree would only bring forth the fruit of its kind. And therefore, every word that comes out of the mouth of this prime minister is as a result of the fruit of the tree that was sown. You see, when you sow lies, when you plant that tree of lies, don't expect to reap oranges. Don't expect to reap avocados. Local word, zabaka. You see, when you sow the seed of lies to get into power, you have sown a tree. You have planted a seed, and therefore that seed will germinate, and that seed will grow, and that tree will bring forth nothing save lies upon lies upon lies. And that is the prime minister that we have in place today, a liar. Well. You see, the word is a pain to your heart. You see, the word, when it's truth, when it's facts, it will help you to understand that governance, the seed of governance, must be sown with honesty. And therefore, going forward in our country, we must root up and root out and cast into the bundle, into the lake of fire, every dishonest, every lying, every thieving politicians. They must be out of office. I ain't here for you to like me. Write that down. Write it down. So the PNM sow the seed of lies. And because that seed of lies was sown into the minds of the population, some of you have allowed that seed to make root into your minds, and therefore there is a tree that is now blocking your vision, that you cannot see what is right, you cannot see what is truth, you cannot see what is facts, you cannot see what is happening, you cannot see the destruction, you cannot see that there is no future for your children under this government. Facts. Allow the pain to touch your heart so that it can remove the veils from your eye, so that you can see what is happening in our country. The seed of lies is what you voted upon. The seed of lies is what you have trust in. And the seed of lies will only deceive you. And then you will formulate a delusion within your mind that what you are seeing and what you are hearing is the truth. But I am here to tell you tonight that it's nothing but delusions that this government have sold to you. They have planted delusions into your mind, and therefore you cannot see what is real. I am calling you tonight to open your eyes in this country. So that is where the PNM, and that is how the PNM strategize their politics. Their politics is not about your standard of living. Their politics is not about the future of your children. Their politics is not to build Trinidad and Tobago. Their politics is to rob and to rape and to gather the resources, the wealth of this country so that they can satisfy themselves, their financials, and their families. Have you not seen how these PNM MPs and ministers and how their families live above you, how they drive above you, how they eat above you, how they wear above you, how they speak above you, how they look above you? Are you too blind to see my people? Are you blind to see what is happening? This is the politics of the PNM. They will continue to use you to stay in power, and the wealth of the country will go to those who does not resemble you. Little black kinky head boy, little bald head boy like mines. This is a message for you. For those of you who are below the poverty line, my job is to represent the poor, the oppressed, and the downtrodden, and those who the government have taken advantage on. My job is to represent you by my words, by my action, by my thoughts, is to move you from that level and raise you up. That's my job. It matters not. It matters not, ladies and gentlemen, the price I have to pay for my stance and my decision in this society. You see, it was never about me. Your heart and your minds tremble because you ask yourself a question. Is what we are hearing, is it real? Time is only time will tell. So Keith Rowley administration, when you look at the issues, when you look at our standard of living, they have now adopted a position because they cannot come to you, the public, and say to you that we have moved your standard of living from A to B, and we have delivered from B to D, and we will continue from D to Z. So they continue to fertilize, they water, they mold, they trim, and they graft and bud from the plant of lies to blame Kamala. Keith Rowley, if he have stoppage of water in the morning, he will say blame Kamala. If he can't sleep at night, he will say, blame Kamala. Because I do believe that he dreamed Kamala. If he can't speak, when he go to any energy conference, whether he had a royalty, he will blame Kamala. If he tongue ties up between his teeth, he blames Kamala. When he cannot govern, he blames Kamala. When he cannot eat, he blames Kamala. Everything he blames Kamala. All right. That is the PNM side. That is the PNM side. But the most dangerous side is those who sits among us that secretly send their messages out to various constituencies and communities to blame Kamala. And I'm talking about those within the UNC. Soak it in. Soak it out. Those within the UNC who try their very best to divide this party, they are more deadly than those in the PNM. You know why? Because your enemies, you know them. Your friends, you don't know them. Yes. So let me get into the belly of this thing now. I know some of them on the edge of the seat. And they're asking, I wonder if Victor make me out. I'll make you out. I'll make you out. Don't feel I make you out. Let me get on to it now. Those in the UNC who continue to spread the PNM propaganda that Kamala weak, I am saying to you today, ladies and gentlemen, they are the ones. They are the deadly ones within the UNC. And let me bring back something to your memory. In 2001, bring back things to your memory. 2001, Basdio Pandey, Ramesh Lawrence Maraj, Trevor Sudama, Ralph Maraj and the team. The UNC in power. Bass have a vision. And Bass' vision is to bring Trinidad and Tobago to the place where we would have continued to move up the index points as the number one in the Caribbean. But like everything else, there was those within the party who believe that positions belongs to them. They believe back then under Pandey that certain position belongs to them. Some of them feel because they were stalwarts. Some of them feel that because they was more educated. Some of them who feel they was more smart. And then of course it will have them just like the PNM who feel they could thief without getting catch. Yeah. Facts. When I bring in it real, because that is what this thing is about. This thing is about real and being transparent, and that is what I intend to bring, and that is what I intend to do, and that is what I intend to be, real, transparent. So, let me move up. So, Basio Pandey, somewhere along the line, believed that Carlos John should be the deputy. But it had men in the party who was bright, brilliant attorney. A matter of fact, one of the better attorney general in this country was Ramesh Lawrence Maharaj. But the bacchanal start because people believe that positions in the party belongs to them. Some of them believe position belongs to them because they were stalwarts. Some of them didn't understand that positions must go with. Who could tell me? Who could tell me it's not about favor, friend? It's not about that. It's not about that. Let me move on. So bacchanal start. So 3 men decide, you see here what happening here? We going and take a position. So Ramesh Lawrence Maharaj, Trevor Sudama, who they used to call Romeo, and Ralph Maharaj, them boy take a position. But when they took that position, ladies and gentlemen, what they did was to force Basdeo Pandey to call a fresh election. But what happened? They didn't just took a position, but they sided with the enemy, who was the PNM to the UNC, and siding with the enemy and bacchanal start. They decide that they're going to push now team unity. Listen what I'm going, you know. But when this team unity formed, it was based on the fact that Ramesh Lawrence Maharaj believed that he had enough authority to commandeer the party. So they took positions that they did not understand. And when they took that position, ladies and gentlemen, and an internal election was called, Ramesh Lawrence Maharaj, together with the team, as a result of a general election, were there no more. Ramesh Lawrence Maharaj, I consider to be one of the better attorney in this country. I will leave that part there for now. But I also believe that Lawrence Ramesh Maharaj was a political donkey head. Ramesh Lawrence Maharaj, in my opinion, was a political donkey head. You, Ramesh Lawrence Maharaj, as a politician, wasn't bright at all. You see, ladies and gentlemen, Basdeo Pandey time was almost expired. Ramesh Lawrence Maharaj, who was one of the better attorney general, who had done his job, it would have been a matter of time, despite who Pandey put as deputy, when an election internally called, Ramesh Lawrence Maharaj would have been the champion. But you see, there is always those who know that their place is stirred, and they will always push the second man to jump out and make a mistake where the second man will get rejected, and the third place man will now move to second place, and the second place man will help contribute to lick up who in charge to get that spot. Aha. Feeling some toes squeezing in some shoes. Automatically, I'm feeling some shoes getting small right now for some feet. Let me give you the facts here tonight. So that come and happen, and Ramesh, Sudama, Ralph, never the corridor of powers again. All right. But Kamla Prasad Bisesa rose up, rise up from amongst the rank and file of the party, beating, whipping Tom, Dick, Harry. I wonder if it's that Patsy, Lucy, and Jane. Whip them all. And this lady emanates to the top. And become leader and move on to prime minister. Right? Ladies and gentlemen, Kamla Prasad Bisesa, the giant of a lady, is just in the same place where Pandey were. Let me explain. Kamla Prasad Bisesa, one, growing in age, two, may very well at some point in time decides that this is the end of the line, and three, the possibility that God may have alternative plans for her. What is the rush? What is the fight? What the speed is about? But there are those who were second in knowledge, in ability, but just as the former dunce, political dunce, secular education, up there. When you compare some of us with them, we to the bottom of the ladder, them to the top of the ladder and looking to fall off, first they bright. But they're so bright until they're dunce politically. So they didn't know to wait their turn. You see what I'm getting at? I'm going and tell you where all the wicked evilness coming from in the UNC, you know. Listen, my God. They couldn't wait their turn. They were like political pipers. They're thirsty for power. Thirsty. There was a calypso, a thirsty today, mama. I know if all you can remember that. They're thirsty. So hear what? They allow other individuals to influence them, to tell them, make the move now. Jump ahead. But those who encourage them to make the move know for a fact that when they make the move and they get exposed politically, that they will take second place. Or they see in the game. So some of them jump out. and they talk about Kamla. Kamla week. Kamla week. Tonight I want to tell all you, Kamla was very weak. Very, very weak. To have them traitors sitting in ministerial portfolio. You know why? Because it's them, the same individuals who Kamla show her strength and put in positions to deliver to the people. Some of them deliver to the self. Yes, I'm saying it. Some of them deliver to the self, the friends, and the family. And that is why the leader moved them out. So they're on the chop set now. Kamala week. Kamala week. Kamala week. Kamala week. Kamala week. Kamala have more fortitude than all you. Because it's all you. It's all you that caused Kamla Persad Bissessa to lose election. All your nasty, wicked behavior is what caused it. But where are they today? On the outside joining with the PNM. On the outside joining with the PNM. The whole bunch all here. All here. Next one driving a fancy car somewhere down in Faizabad. All here. I know fearful here. You know why? Because Kamla did the honorable thing and move all you out. So they could sing all you want Kamla week. But I want part. Then the next part, who looking for political authority inside the UNC, that is the next dangerous faction. That is the next faction that continue to propagate, that continue to leak information, that continues to assist to see if they could remove Kamla and take Kamla place. All they hearing me tonight, people, they believe that they could sit within and undermine the leader in order to take the leader place. But let me say something tonight. You all have the opportunity to get back in line. Get back in line. You know why? Because I want to help all you to get back into line. If all you in understand what happened back then under Basdio Pandey, if all you can see what happened back then all you not only politically dunce, but all you politically blind. Let me tell you something. Sit down in the party and wait your turn. Sit down in the party, wait your turn. And let me see some all you. Let me see all you doing what is expected of all you to do in order to push, to move, and to build this party to send it forward. The time will come when you will have your turn. Kamla Persad Bissessa is not infallible. Kamla Persad Bissessa is not immortal. Wait your turn. And if you wait your turn, then you will be able to not only get rid of the PNM, but you will save the country and the future generation from the disaster, the pit where the PNM now take this country. That is what is needed. That is what is needed. I want to tell, there's a couple other guys. The Botiwari, the Fazal Karim, and the whole team get some political sense the PNM can't help all you. If all you feel the PNM could help all you, then join the PNM. Don't just ride with the PNM. Get a party card. Because let me tell all you something. None of all you. None all you could win anything at any time. Because the people in this country, you know what they want? They want people who is loyal and committed to the people. They don't want people who is loyal and committed to the self, and those who are loyal and committed to the wealth of this country. They don't want that. They don't want that. So I am saying to you people, the time has come where we must save this country, and in order to save this country, we need all hands on deck. Those of you who feel you didn't get what you're supposed to get in 2010 and 2015, and you're vexed and you're twisting your mouth and you're making cushion mouth, straighten all your mouth, boy. Straighten all your mouth. Get all your mouth straight, because what is happening in this country, it will not only destroy all you, it will destroy all your generation. That is what is happening in this country. So don't take the propaganda that Kamala weak and Kamala weak. Kamala is one of the strongest leaders that passed through here. One of the strongest leaders that passed through here. You know why? Kamala was able to keep the people's partnership with all the sharks. Sharks left, right, and center. She was able to keep the sharks and them to work together. Keep them together for 5 years. I'm coming back. I'm taking a quick break for some water. I will be back. This is no time, ladies and gentlemen, to play. This is no time to play around. This is a time where this country is in serious crisis. This is a time where we need to save this country. This is a time that we need to put aside self and put country first. We boast so many times of how patriotic we are. We boast. I am calling you now to demonstrate that type of patriotism. I am calling you now to stand together and help this country and rid this country of the band of thieves that sits at the hem of political power. Ladies and gentlemen, we have seen a government that controls just 21 seats in this country, and today they continue to do what they want. You have seen members of parliament who have no regards for your vote. They have turned their backs on you, the voting population. They have turned their backs on you, the people who have installed them, who have canvassed on behalf of them. They have turned their backs on you and allow you to live without while they live with all. We have seen, ladies and gentlemen, a bunch of politicians in this era where the order of the day is self, and selfishness. We have seen, ladies and gentlemen, a bunch of MPs who will stop at nothing while they reap the wealth of the public purse, while they enrich themselves and their family. They will continue to put themselves first, second, and third. And yet we as a people, we are playing blind to these situations. We have some MPs, ladies and gentlemen, that will not speak out against the wrongdoing of this government. Those PNM MPs will sit in the cabinet. They will see that a selective few will reap millions upon millions, and they will settle for a few 100,000. They do not, ladies and gentlemen, they do not have a heart for you, the voters in this country. They don't care how you live, how you eat, how you sleep, how you drink. They don't care, ladies and gentlemen. You, the constituents of these PNM MPs, I am calling on you. You must revolt against them. You must revolt against these MPs who continue to neglect you as the people who put them in office. Revolt against them. You must force them to speak out against the injustice in this society. You must force them, ladies and gentlemen, to speak out against the corruption that is taking place with your money. You must force them, ladies and gentlemen. Force them to deliver, to fix your constituency, to improve your standard of living. You must force your MPs who sits within the government. Force them, ladies and gentlemen. There's no other way. Ladies and gentlemen, I have looked at some of these MPs on the government bench, and I believe that some of those MPs came out from a certain material. And that material that I believe that some of them came out from was the material of fairness, the material of justice, the material of transparency, the material of accountability, the material of equity, the material of fairness. That is what I believe that some of those PNM MPs, that was the material that they came out from. But time, people always say, is longer than twine. By time, we have seen that these MPs, that they did not have your interest at heart at any given point in time, ladies and gentlemen. How could you now sit down in those PNM strongholds and see that your life is deteriorating, that you are going down the drain, your family have no education, your husband have no job, your wife cannot put food on the table, and yet to the end of the day, you will sit down there and support these MPs who continue to eat and drink and defecate better than what you could eat or drink or smell. They having a time with your taxpayers' money. They're living it up with your taxpayers' money. They're driving it out with your taxpayers' money. They're dressing it out with your taxpayers' money. You living without food, clothes, shelter, and yet to the end of the day, you will sit down idly and allow this to happen and allow this to destroy the future generation, because this will not only affect you, this will affect your grandchildren, it will affect your great-grandchildren, it will affect generations to come. That is what is playing out before your face. That is what is happening to you. That is what you must see. You must see people before you see yourself. They have the responsibility, according to our constitution, something that the government continue to drag on the ground and trample upon in every aspect. They have the responsibility to represent, to deliver, to use the taxpayers' money, to use the public money to do public things. But instead, what we have today is a government that using public money to do private things by enriching themselves, while you, the people, continue to suffer, and while they continue to use you as the pawns to keep them in power. How long would you allow that to happen? How long would you accept that type of behavior? Ladies and gentlemen, I want to tell you tonight, I want to say to you tonight, it is about time that you get up, you stand up, and you fight for your rights in this country. Some people call me to tell me Kamla must call the troops to hit the streets. PNM strategy. PNM strategy. Kamla do have to call you to hit the streets. Who called 1970 to hit the streets? Who called them to hit the streets? So you blind, so you ain't seen what going on? You ain't understanding what taking place? Ladies and gentlemen, I want to tell you tonight that the time is at hand. I want to tell you that the time is now. I want to tell you that we, the people, must take back our country from this corrupted, thieving, lying government that now sits in office. I want to tell you tonight, ladies and gentlemen, that you have the political power in your hand. I want to tell you that once we exercise the political power and recall this government by the shout and by the actions of our voices and our bodies in our communities, I am telling you that any government that takes control of political power will have to answer to us. I don't know. I can't understand. I cannot see, ladies and gentlemen, that we as a people will allow ourselves to be divided by ethnicity, by religion. I cannot see, ladies and gentlemen, that we will allow this government and any other government to use and abuse us, and we sit, we stand, we lie, and do nothing about it. Let me ask some questions tonight. Have you, as individuals, ever sit down and recount your life story? Have you ever sit down and stretch your recollection backward to see the struggles, to see and to understand and to remember the pain, the struggle that you go through in order to be what you are today? Could you remember the time when you sit down by yourself and cry because there were no opportunities for you to make yourself somebody in society? Can you remember the days when you sit down and share a tear, not the one that D.L. Singh shared, but share a tear because you did not know where the next meal was coming from? Have you ever sit down and remember when you were tempted to commit crime in order to survive? Could you sit down, ladies and gentlemen, and remember the agony, the punishment, the pain that you face before you become a man or a woman? Before you became a man or a woman, ladies and gentlemen, can you remember? I want you tonight to look back at your life story. Look back at what you went through. And I want you to take out the child amongst you that is not your favorite. And don't fool yourself. Don't mamaga yourself. Jeffrey tell me a long time that people does hide But yet with inside, they had our favorite child. I don't want you to take that one. Take the next one. Take that one. And picture what you went through. And watch that child, your own flesh and blood. And tell me if you will want that child to go through what you went through in order to become a man or a woman. I want you to tell me that tonight. Take that one and see if you will like that one to go through what you went through in life in order to become a man or a woman. You examine and you tell me. And if the answer is yes, you will like that child to go through what you went through. All the pain and sorrow and agony, you want that child to go through that, then you vote PNM. Then you continue to stay with the PNM. But if you want that child to have a life with chances, with opportunities, with education, with jobs, you stand with me. Stand with me. And let us ensure that Kamla Persad Bisasa sits on the chair of power to grant, to ensure that those opportunities come again so that you, your children, your grandchildren, your great-grandchildren will have an opportunity in this country. You need to put away tonight. You need to put away tonight the seed that they sow in your heart. You need to put aside tonight the enemy that they put inside you to fight you so that you cannot see what is right, what is wrong. The enemy that they place in you, ladies and gentlemen, you need to put that aside. Let me tell you something. I am not asking you. I am not asking you, ladies and gentlemen, to curse your PNM party, you know. I'm not asking you that. I'm not asking you, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not asking you to betray your race, you know. I'm not asking you that. What I am asking of you, ladies and gentlemen, is let us make a collective choice and reinstate the Prime Minister from 2010 to 2015 who had made our lives easy, who have granted us opportunities by her policies to live, to work, to get an education, to get scholarships, to get grants. Let us get together and give that lady that opportune chance again so that we could live in this society. That is what I am asking you. I am not asking you to change the color of your skin, and I ain't asking you to change the texture of your hair. I'm not asking you that. I am asking you to open your eyes and see. And if you open your eyes and see that we had a government who was instrumental in helping us to excel in this country, I am saying that that is the government that we need in a time like this. We need in a time like this, ladies and gentlemen, a government with compassion. We need in a time like this, ladies and gentlemen, a government that is passionate, a government who will bring opportunities to help us to move out of this situation that we are in. A government that will bring educational opportunities to help our children, grandchildren, great-grand to expand, to exhale, and to move on. We know, ladies and gentlemen, that today the order of this world is education. Education is the thing, ladies and gentlemen. And one of these days, I will share my story with you. I will share my story, ladies and gentlemen, where at great amount of times, where I had to go in the garden and not attend school, where they believe at that time that education was only for the girls. I will share things with you. I will help you to understand where I came from. I will help you to understand what I am now pursuing. I will help you to understand what is the greatest thing in this country. I will help you to understand, ladies and gentlemen, that without education in this country, you will continue to be left far back behind. And this PNM government remove every opportunity to make education easy for you. I am telling you about a lady, about an individual who has brought to this country every aspect of education, tertiary, secondary, primary, every aspect. And I am saying that it's not too late. It is not too late. We will bring you to a point in your community where if you cannot take the secular education, we will bring to you trade, we will bring to you sports, we will bring to you craft, we will teach you how to make a dollar, we will teach you how to live, we will teach you how to feed your family. This government have a mass agriculture plan. This government have a plan for everything, ladies and gentlemen. All you need to do is to give Kamla Persad Bissessa the opportunity, and you will see what she will do out of that government. Ladies and gentlemen, this PNM government is a government with no plan. This PNM government is a government that will leave you right where you are and even send you further back. We have experienced it. We have seen it. We have watched in every constituency. We have seen geographical discrimination. We have seen neglect even in their own constituency, you the people who support them. We have seen how Hines and Beckers and how all of those individuals have treated you and continue to treat you in your constituency. I am saying, ladies and gentlemen, you have to arise. You have to rise above that type of black people politics that they preach. You have to rise above that African politics that they preach. You have to rise above all the negativity that they will bring to you. You have to be able to see the future for what it is, ladies and gentlemen. You have to see them for what they are. You have to take a stand. You have to unite. We have to make it happen. I am not saying that we have to be bosom buddies. I am not saying that you have to love me and I have to love you. I am saying that we have to stand together to save Trinidad and Tobago, and I'm asking you to take the opportunity to stretch your recollection back. Look at the ills that you experience. Look at your grandparents. Look at the homes that you are living in. Look at what they have done to you over the years, and you have to decide if you want your children to continue along that path, if you want them to sit back and wait until they reach the age to get a pension, something that Keith Rowley may very well cut or reduce very soon. You have to sit down and examine, ladies and gentlemen, and see what is best for your family. I am going to leave you now, but I want to leave you with a few words. And the words that I want to leave you with tonight, ladies and gentlemen, is the simple words of think, watch, and decide. Think, watch, and decide. That is what I leave you with tonight. God bless. I'm out.
So why we allow this administration to erode our democracy? This is a democratic society, and therefore every creed and race must find an equal place.
Yeah, big device. If you want to see a better life, yeah, share the light. When you use them, no, we gotta try. Big device. If you want to see a better life, yeah, share the light. When you use them, no, we gotta try.
So I am